And the final story for the day is the pyramids. I'm sure each one of us would have heard something about it, but let's look at it.
All the Russian pyramids are made of fiberglass, with the largest standing an incredible 144 feet high, tall, and weighing in at over 55 tons. This Russian pyramid is a modern wonder. Many different experiments are being done using these pyramids. They include studies in medicine, ecology, agriculture, physics, and health sciences. What is significant about this work is that it is being carried out by top scientists in Russia and Ukraine, and not fringe elements or unknown inventors. Some of the amazing pyramid power research being done is showing great promise for all mankind. You may find this hard to believe, but some of the results include water inside the pyramid that will remain liquid to minus 40 degrees Celsius, but freeze instantly if bumped in any way. There are reports of spontaneous charging of capacitors. Seismic activity near the pyramid research areas are reduced in severity and size, and even to a non-existent point in some areas. Violent weather also appears to decrease in the vicinity of the pyramids. And there has also been a study into improved regeneration of tissue in humans, and amazingly, they have built one of these things where there was a hole in the ozone, and it appears to have fixed it.
And it was in 2018 that a research was carried out in the Great Pyramid of Giza. And scientists found that the pyramid concentrates electric and magnetic energy in its chambers and below the base, giving rise to distinct pocket of higher energy. Now, the thoughts that come after seeing this is, how can we integrate the power of pyramids in our space and build design effectively? Is it possible that, like pyramids, all other volumes also have some kind of energy channelizing properties? Can we explore these energy channeling properties of 3D shapes and 2D patterns, which is also called as biogeometry, to incorporate in our space design so as to have a positive impact on our well-being? So I'll just recap these 4 stories. We talked about biofields and how we are always getting affected by the vibrations of our space and many other things around us. We talked about how EMRs have increased a lot and they're impacting us. We talked about vitalized water, and we talked about shapes and pyramids. And interestingly, there are many other stories. There's a paucity of time. I cannot show you all of them, but geopathic stress, indoor climate, universal mathematics, sleep directions, circadian rhythms, plant energy consciousness, VOCs, colors, frequencies, biogeometry, Vedic Vastu, natural materials, and creating radiation-free zones are just some of the other aspects. And all these aspects have to do with design, and all of them have an ability to impact our well-being at the most subtle level. The big question is, can we design spaces integrating the bioenergetic principles? And that precisely was the quest when I started Bioenergetic Architecture, that integrates shapes and forms through biogeometry, pyramids. It integrates precepts of building biology. It integrates universal mathematics, and that's a very interesting subject in itself. Basic precepts of Vedic Vastu, which was again based on subtle energies and climatic concerns. Consciousness and natural biofields, colors, frequencies, water, and grounding. This is how everything is becoming a part of a protocol-based systematic way to design and bring it as a layer of design in architecture so as to create spaces that facilitate health, happiness, and harmony. I'll just talk a little bit about building biology because it's a new subject. So you see, building biology is something that falls at the junction of nature, human beings, and architecture. And it deals with all the aspects of interior spaces, right from the electrical fields, radioactivity, magnetic fields, formaldehydes, VOCs, noise levels, CO2 levels, geopathic radiations, humidity, ventilation, dust, and more. And Dr. Anton Schneider, who is the founder, this was founded by Dr. Anton Schneider after in 1960s, because a lot of building activity was happening and new materials were added and there was a rise in disease. And that's when he started experimenting, and it has been researched over past 70 years. And they have given now formed standard, these are I just picked some of the standards to show that now these are the standards which we can follow for many aspects, all the aspects you saw in the earlier slide, which are healthy and which are severe. So it's a very interesting subject which has a direct bearing on the way we design our spaces. So how would I view architecture in the coming decade? I think the best precepts of the architecture, the way the space design, interior design that has been happening from Formitas, Utilitas, and Inustas will continue. Perhaps we could add a layer of the knowledge of well-being to it to achieve architecture of health, happiness, and harmony. So if I was to answer why bioenergetic architecture, I would say create architecture of well-being, understand that buildings impact our biology, address the unprecedented radiation challenge, and celebrate and systematically incorporate rich Vedic science of well-being in our design. And what is it? It's a dimension of architectural design that deals with the relationship of built spaces and human well-being. It employs holistic design approach and protocols to design spaces which enhance and reinforce human biofluid. It offers a methodology of space design that is based on underlying principles of matter, energy, and life itself, rooted in multiple sciences like biophysics, building biology, cymatics, along with age-old tradition wisdom of Indian Sthapatya Vigyan, Vedic Vastu Ayadi. And how of bioenergetic would include these diverse 18 precepts. Some of them I have talked about, but there are so many others which have come seamlessly together in a way that they can be integrated into space design, interior design, architecture, any kind of built environment. So I'll quickly show you that how a recently done project includes this. This is a house I recently did in Ayodhya, and you see just some of the precepts. Naturally, we'll only apply the ones which are relevant to a particular projects. And I'll show you, quickly. It was a project which is not aligned. You can see the north is not aligned to the main road, and cardinal directions are very important. And this is our, Padvinyas as per Vastu, which helps us decide, which are the good directions to what kind of activity, where to enter the house. There are certain things which are more important than the others. The client had given me a very nice explicit brief. And then we went into a series of iterations. And finally, we created an alignment to the true north. Mind you, true north, not the magnetic north. So we balanced out the declination for that location and found the true north. And then used some very pure forms and Vastu and created field-free zones to finally come up with a solution which looks something like this. And I think I'll just show this clip. I could go on talking about bioenergetic architecture on and on, but I hope to give a glimpse of this field and what we are trying to do in this. There's a lot of information which I've tried to put on this website. You could visit it, you could register on to get the updates. There are some investigations and projects also available here. And also, if you want to be linked with me through WhatsApp and other social media, just send in a request. And these are some of the mediums you could check out also. So that's all from my end.